we kind of landed on a concept for this podcast as we'll hit everything we need to hit, right? We'll hit all the news points. We'll talk about the games. But every team in the NFL sucks.
Let's start out with the one that everybody's waiting for, the Chiefs. Okay?
Yep.
So the Chiefs currently suck because
it's that football show here on KC Sports Over. Tucker Franklin hanging out with Matt Verderame after a awful, no good football game that we watched on Thursday Night Football. It was ass. It was there's no
super mega ass, to put it bluntly or kindly, depending on how you look at it.
It was an awful game. The Broncos do win. The Broncos do move to 8-2, right on the year for them.
8-2. I wouldn't say the Broncos win. They just lost less.
10-7 was the final score of that football game. If you didn't stay up for it, congratulations. We actually applaud you for not staying up for it. I am envious of you.
Maybe you did something more exciting and fun, like lay in traffic. I thought about, like, if I just wander out into the street, it's dark, right? Like,
yeah, right.
Chance that somebody just clips me. That game was offensive on every level. Like, listen. Denver's defense, give them all the credit in the world. Great defense, played like it. I got to tell you, I think Denver's defense could have been really mediocre, and they probably still would have won that game 10-7. Like, the Raiders are non-functioning in a way that is both hilarious and jarring at the same time. Like, it's just like that whole game. For anyone who didn't see it, was there was a run in the. It was in the first half. I can't remember if it was the end of the first quarter. Early, it was the end of the first quarter.
Yeah.
Genti whipped off like a 40-yard run down the left sideline, blocked it up perfectly. Jack Beck gets called for holding. They show the hold, which is clear. It is egregiously holding.
Yeah.
He's 20 yards away from Ashton Genti. Like, he could have let that guy just run. Jack Beck could have just used the sideline as like an exit ramp off a highway. He could have just like, you know what? I don't care.
Yeah.
He still runs for 40 yards. And he's like, no. I'm going to tackle this guy.
Yeah.
Great. And then Dante Thornton Jr., I'm pretty sure, had like money on Denver in this game. The FBI just launched another investigation. Okay. Like, somewhere watching this game in Portland, Chauncey Billups was like, hey, that guy. Like, I mean, it was unbelievable how bad he took a PI that
so blatant. He was staring at the dude the whole time.
You know how bad it was? He didn't even do the whole theatrical, like, me? What do you mean? He literally just started patting himself in the chest, like, yeah, I know.
All me.
Yeah, no kidding, bro. Yes, it was all you. And then Gino, as he's getting wounded, like he's basically ready to retire at halftime. He got hurt. Yeah. Got hit like 38 times. The guy launches a rainbow on the sideline, perfect throw, and Thornton caught it like he had bricks on it for hands. I mean, it was unbelievable how bad he was.
Right, he was tough.
The only player who might have been worse in that game was Bo Nix, who was just single-handedly trying to lose through two picks, one of which should have probably cost them the game, but didn't because they're the Raiders and they just couldn't do anything, and then Carlson misses a field goal.
Right.
God. Dude, that game was horrendous. Also, though, the LVP, the least valuable player in that game, it's got to go to Peyton, man. Sean Payton in that game, is he all right?
He refused to run the football, which
Sean,
is
your quarterback sucks. Like, absolutely sucks in this game. He was off. Even if you're like one of these people, like, you think Bo Nix is better than, like, fine. In this game, he was awful. There's no arguing it. He was absolutely horrific beyond words for all four quarters. And you're winning 10-7 only because, by the way, you blocked the punt at the 10-yard line. And
correct.
You couldn't get into the end zone.
They had to kick a field goal.
Unbelievable. Yeah. You had a drive earlier in the game that you were moving the ball just because you were running it with Dobbins, like playing the play out. And then you decide that was a great time to throw a backwards lateral to Sutton, who got thrown for a 5-yard loss. And then you hilariously kicked a 59-yard field goal into the wind. And like the second Lutz hit it, you're like, the only question here is not if it goes in, does it reach the goal line? Like, which it barely did, but it did not reach the crossbar. Peyton in that game, and at the end of the game, when Nick throws that pick, why are you throwing?
Yeah.
Buddy, just run it and punt. The only reason I'll give him any kind of a break is the punter for Denver. Like, was he trying to punt with like his non-punting foot in that game? Like, what the hell was happening?
Maybe he lost a bet and he had to like, all right, now you have to punt with it's like a handicap, right? You have to punt with your off leg.
The feds need to investigate Jeremy Crawshaw as well. Like, that was...
Didn't know that was his name.
It is. He is a 6th-round rookie, and I got to tell you, I don't know that he's going to have a long career in the NFL if that game's any indication. That
he was drafted?
The 6th round. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not looking good. It's not looking like great value. That was beyond words brutal. And yet they won. I mean, the Broncos won. I give them credit. They're 8-2.
I guess.
I fully expect that the Chiefs will battle to the death for 4 quarters with the Broncos.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the Chiefs, if they play well, should just wipe the floor with that team. Not even because defensively, look, the Broncos are legitimately really good defensively, but because the Broncos are so bad on offense, the Chiefs should just get the ball like 13 times. And it's like, hey, if you score 2 points of possession, which for the Chiefs would be a really bad number, like that's 26, you win.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that should be a game that you win like 26-12. But it's the Chiefs. So it'll be a 2019 with like 8 seconds left as Butker's run out there to attempt like a 78-yard field goal into the win. It'll be fine. But yeah, that game, it broke my will to live.
So that part of this game, how we were on here before the show, kind of talking about what we wanted to talk about with the Chiefs bye week that's happened. The trade deadline has expired. There's stuff to talk about on that on that front of things. The Broncos and Raiders game broke our will, and you know, there's other teams around the NFL that are starting to break the will of a lot of fan bases. It's that time. It's that time of the year, right, Matt? Where it's just like, all right, we're week 10 now.
Correct.
We are in the thick of it. Team, you know what a team is pretty much at this point. You know what a team is. And I think, Matt, we kind of landed on a concept for this podcast as we'll hit everything we need to hit, right? We'll hit all the news points. We'll talk about the games. But every team in the NFL sucks. And it's pretty hard not to debate how that's literally the revelation of the ass list came from this show of us saying that, like, man, every team is kind of ass this year. And that's kind of shown itself from watching this Broncos and Raiders game, thinking about the Arizona Cardinals. I was going over the ass list and thinking, man, I think I kind of need to add another tier of ass in between Jets and super mega ass. And I did. I ended up adding it. Ultra super mega ass is what it's called. We get to learn that here first. So I think we just need to take a moment, and by moment I mean an entire podcast, to just get it all out there, man. We just need to get it all out there about these teams. We need to air it all out. So if you enjoy us talking about other football teams, and look, we'll talk about the Chiefs obviously too, because they still suck. Like they've got some suck in them. Don't question. They got some suck in them. So we'll talk about that.
We saw it last week.
Oh boy. Also, you know what really sucks, Matt? Keeping it on brand. Patrick Mahomes' completion percentage last week was still it was lower than Bo Nix's was.
It was not good
tonight.
It was not good.
So very brutal. Where do you want to start on our tour de suck? As we go around the league, where do you want to start?
So we're going to hit on why all 32 teams suck. Now, obviously, we're not going to make this a 3-hour podcast, okay? Because we're recording this thing at 11:15 at night after a game that I might go to the store after this and buy like a 6-pack of Tall Boys and just drink so I forget it happened.
All of them.
I'm genuinely going to the store after this a minute. I don't care. I can't take the pain. My wife's going to be like, well, what, you know, why did you pass out on the steps? Because I as far as I got, I'm going to make her watch that game. She's going to understand.
Yeah, that's fair.
I give you credit for getting to the steps. Like,
true.
In any event. So, look, here's the deal. We're talking about why all 32 teams suck. Let's start out with the one that everybody's waiting for, the Chiefs. Okay?
Yep.
So, the Chiefs currently suck because they are wildly inconsistent. And when they're like on the bad side of inconsistent, it is quite a sight to behold. Like the Bills game, you really would think like the Chiefs were maybe willing to throw that game. Like I don't know what the game plan was. The Jacksonville game, there's no maybe about it.
Yeah.
I think that game they basically got together, especially at halftime. Now, what do you think? 13 penalties and a pick six? Yeah, let's do it. So the Chiefs for me, that's what. Just even though they might literally be the best team in the league, they also at times play like one of the worst teams in the league, just like depending on which moment of the day it is.
That's what it is you never know what team's going to show up. And that's why, we talked about they're going to be taking on the Broncos here after their bye week. You would typically feel pretty good about that matchup. You would typically feel pretty good, but they just let down a historical monumental stinker in Buffalo where it looked like they let the graduate assistants at the University of Phoenix do a game plan for them. That's kind of what it looked like. And we'll see what team shows up. Obviously, the Andy Reid off a bye week stat is obviously one of the good ones. This is a game that they need to win. Like, they need to win this football game against the Denver Broncos. Yeah. So, truthfully, I feel pretty good about it. And we'll dive into that a whole lot more. We got a lot of time to talk about it. We got a lot of time for other information to come out. Joshua Simmons is going to be back. We don't know what capability he will be back, I guess, for the game, but he's right. He's in the facility, so that's a positive lining. Before we move on to another team, let's quickly talk about how the Chiefs didn't make a trade at the trade deadline. Are you, surprised and be upset about that?
I'm not upset about it. I'm surprised because Brett Veach is usually pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
I will say, though, I will go on the opposite side of a lot of people on the one thing. I am not at all in favor of them giving up a third-round pick and then extending Breece Hall. That's a lot, man. Like, I get the whole like, well, they're going to give up a fourth. Okay, yeah, but that's also like the argument that people make when it's like, well, if you're going to buy a house for $400,000, you might as well just buy one for $500,000. Like that's how people go into bankruptcy. Okay,
yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm.
Like at some point, there's got to be a line, and I got to be fair. I would have had the same line as Brett Veach. Like I would not have given them a day 2 pick, which, by the way, nobody did. So
correct.
And it's not just the pick; you then have to pay him.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. And like, I like Breece Hall, but can we stop pretending like Breece Hall is like a top 5 running back in the NFL? He's not. Like, he's fine. He's a good player.
He's like, his EPA per carry is like just this. I think it actually is the same as Kareem Hunt. And Kareem Hunt's might be a little bit higher or something like that. As much as you want to do EPA, but like, yeah.
He's like, look, I'm not saying he's not a good player. He's a good player. You know how many 1,000-yard years he's had in his career?
I don't think he's had one, has he? Or
Zero.
Okay.
0. Okay. And his high in touchdowns is 5. Like I get it. It's the Jets. Like if you adjust for Jets, if you AFJ this thing, he's rushed for 2,500 yards a season. we understand.
Right.
There has to be an adjustment made.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, I thought that, honestly, if anything, I was disappointed that they didn't go get another pass rusher.
I agree with you.
That to me was way more important than like adding Breece Hall to this thing.
I was surprised there wasn't a ton of buzz about pass rusher. I think Nate Taylor mentioned Bradley Chubb when he was on 96.5 for a little bit, but like that was the only thing that I heard. I don't know how much of a real buzz Bradley Chubb was for anyone really around the National Football League. The Dolphins kind of stayed pat too because they had some discussions with the Broncos about Waddle. I know that was thrown out there, but nothing ultimately ends up in that deal. A lot of deals that were on the table, I think, for the Jets as well. Also, very strange from the Jets' perspective to have a fourth on the table for Breece Hall and not take it after what they did all day and just be like, we're standing firm on a day 2 pick for Breece Hall.
Unloaded everybody, but not the running back. Okay, great. I'm sure Breece Hall, by the way, thrilled about that development.
Oh, God.
Hey, Breece, listen, the whole team's gone, and we're not going to win another game this year, but don't worry, buddy. You're getting the ball 20 times and running into a box with 13 guys in it.
Well, he has to because Braylon Allen's hurt, too, so that's awesome.
It's not good. So, yeah, that kind of leads into, all right, so we've checked off the Chiefs.
Yep, I'm going to keep a running list of who we've checked off.
I know you will. So we got, all right, so now here's where we're gonna make some hay.
Yep, let's do it.
The Jets, the Browns, the Titans, the Raiders. You know what? I'm going to go controversial here. I'm going to throw the Broncos into this.
Ooh.
The Dolphins, the Commanders, I'm trying to make sure I'm being fair with this. The Saints
Okay.
and the Cardinals all suck for the same reason.
Wow.
They have no quarterback. Like, now the Commanders would, but like Daniels is effectively out for the year. So like
he's had 17 injuries this year.
Yeah, like it's like that one is kind of like it just kind of happened that way. Actually, you know what? Add Jacksonville to that list. Who also doesn't have a quarterback because Trevor Lawrence looks like Aiden O'Connell. So let's add him in there. Yeah, I mean, all those teams, like, and look, would you throw Minnesota, Atlanta?
Minnesota's close enough where I would, because I think jury's still out on JJ, right? JJ had a good game against the Lions, so I if he would have looked like ass against the Lions, I would have said, yeah, throw it in there.
Oh, the Panthers, by the way, another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's terrible. Like, the Panthers are another one. Yeah, I mean, so we've knocked out did I say the Giants or no?
If you did, I don't remember. I
don't think Dart's playing well enough. I wouldn't put him in there. But those other teams, whatever the fuck the Browns are doing on a week-to-week, I look forward to seeing Shedeur Sanders in like 3 weeks. That'll be fun. And they'll have to listen to a whole week of like how he's going to be great. Now it's rough, like 92 yards. Bo Nix absolutely belongs in that. If anyone want to watch that Thursday night game, I mean, my God, man.
I agree.
I was telling Tucker, off air, like, so in my column for Sports Illustrated after the game that SI forced me to write at virtual gunpoint about the Broncos, like, there's a chance that the playoff field in the AFC, and obviously we don't know for sure, but there's a good chance that the 7 quarterbacks in the playoff field are Josh Allen, Drake May, Lamar Jackson, Daniel Jones, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and Bo Nix. Okay, that's like the meme of like all the guys in the army like coming around the corner and they're like a clown. I went and looked. So the Broncos have now played 10 games. Nix has 7 games where he's at 6.2 yards per attempt or less, which is ridiculous. Like anything after 7 is pretty rough. Like 6.2 is brutal. 7 of 10 games, which by the way, there's 6 of 1 in those games. Okay. God, the rest of that projected AFC playoff field combined has 4 such games. I'm sorry, that team has no shot in hell of winning a Super Bowl. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's all fine and well, like when you're beating the Texans and the Raiders and the Giants and the Jets and the Titans like that, with 5 of his wins in those games. Okay, that's all fine and well. Yeah, you're not beating the Bills in that game. And by the way, as much as next week could be a complete shit show, you're not beating the Chiefs in the playoffs doing that either.
No.
Because in the playoffs, the Chiefs are going to be like, all right, big boy, strap up. Here we go. And 6.2 yards per attempt's not cutting the mustard. So, yeah, all those teams, that's why they suck. We can just save time.
Okay, let me run through this one more time to make sure I get it. So, Tennessee doesn't have a quarterback, yeah? Terrible. Or did you consider Houston having a quarterback?
I did. Yeah, Stroud's a quarterback.
In Daniel Jones, yeah.
Yeah, he's leading the league in passing as quarterback.
Cleveland absolutely does not.
Yeah, we got Houston, we got Cleveland, we've got Denver, we've got the Raiders.
Denver, yep, got those.
Okay, we've got Miami and the Jets.
Miami and the Jets, okay. And the
Commanders.
Okay, Commanders.
Carolina, New Orleans.
Yep.
Arizona. Okay. We're gonna get back to Arizona here a little bit later on.
We are gonna get. There's multiple reasons why they suck.
Would you like to take a crack here at one or multiple teams who suck and why?
Yes, I would. I would like to do this. Okay. Here's a fun one. Here's a fun group that I can make. I'm gonna go with Houston, and I'm gonna go with. How do I want to do this? I'll go with. No, I'm going to go with. Actually, I'm going to take a little hang through. I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. That whole organization sucks. They're all frauds. It's the most fraudulent team of all time. I was going to try to get cute with it, but I was like, you know what? Sometimes you just have to run the damn football, and this is my choice here. The Cincinnati Bengals suck because, number one, they don't have a quarterback this year. I mean, it's Joe Flacco. They can't play a lick of defense. They can't block anyone to save anyone's life. All of their quarterbacks are getting hurt.
It's not good.
And they're just a very malfunctioning organization who is incredibly cheap and at the expense of the players. And now they're seeing, oh, wait, we shouldn't have given all this money to 2 wide receivers and a quarterback. So that's why they suck, is because they've been horribly mismanaged from their front office and they refuse to change. That's why the Cincinnati Bengals suck forever, and also this year.
You know what? It's good. Yeah, it's a good call. So I was that's perfect, because I was actually going to lump them and the Cowboys together and just say, no defense. Is the owner alive?
Wow, that's a great one. Yeah.
Like,
no, that's good.
In the case of Cincinnati, like, literally, have we seen the owner? Like, does he care at all? Like,
I don't know what he looks like.
I've seen him drive around on a golf cart. He actually was hit with a golf cart. But I should have just stuck my leg out. I'd be a millionaire.
That's true.
Bad job by me. So with him, it's like, does he care at all? With Jerry, it's not a question of whether he's physically alive. Like, Jerry's always out and about.
Oh, yeah.
It's more a question of, like, in terms of evaluating players and, like, where your team is at. Like, you got a pulse? Like, what's going on?
Right.
Here's a first and a second for Quinnen Williams, who has 3 quarterback hits this year. 3. And no, he hasn't been hurt. He's played all the games. He has 3 quarterback hits this year. And the Cowboys were like, you know what? Let's give up what we got for Micah Parsons, essentially, for him. Sounds good. And also, let's get Logan Wilson, who was benched by the Bengals. Do you know how bad you got to be defensively to get benched by the Bengals?
I mean, wow.
Not good. Not good. So, Cowboys, throw them on the pile for Jerry. And then also, well, trying to think here. Is it fair? I want to make sure I'm being fair. No, I was going to say the Chargers because the owner, but no, I got other reasons for the Chargers. All right, we'll just stick with it. So they get the Cowboys and the Bengals, who defensively useless, and the owner's like, I don't know what's happening.
Right.
So knock those 2 right out there.
I think it's good. We're at 15 or 14 right now. The teams that we have talked about. I'll lump 2 together, then we'll take a break. I've got 2 that I want to talk about.
Okay.
And the 2 that I want to talk about are Pittsburgh. I want to talk about why Pittsburgh sucks.
How much time you need?
I need a lot of time to talk about it. And I also want to talk about why Green Bay sucks, because I think they both suck because they're not getting the quarterback play that they expected, and their defense isn't as good as they expected. So, in terms, let's talk about the Packers first. They thought that their Jordan Love was going to be way better than expected. We got to see it firsthand. First week of the season, we thought, man, the Packers are going to be a good team. Add Micah Parsons to the mix. That's a pretty darn good football player. This defense might be a little scrappy. It might be a little salty. They've kind of come back to earth a little bit. The Steelers have had that was going to be like, this is a defensive football team. Like, this is a defensive football team. This is going to be built on the defense.
Yeah.
And their defense sucks.
They're 30th in the league defensively.
Yeah, and to try to build a team on defense and have it suck like that when your quarterback is, I think, 4,700 years old, that is not good. And watching Aaron Rodgers move is like, it's hard. He can still sling it, right? He can still sling the rock, but like him just like moving around the pocket is just like, oh, buddy. Like, yeah.
I appreciate that he's just constantly furious with everyone but himself.
Yeah, he's going to get pissed at his offensive lineman for celebrating with him. That's a good one too.
Yeah. So those are 2. That's good. It's like Rodgers, the corollary there with the Packers and the Steelers.
Yeah.
So yeah, here we can throw to break as this. I'll say quickly, couple teams we can eliminate based on the Vikings, the Texans. Trying to see if there's something like, obviously I'm messing for what I'm about to say. Okay. The Patriots, Vikings, Texans, Patriots. They have these. All right, so we'll go with those 3. The offensive lines are just absolutely like, you just can't win a Super Bowl with those offensive lines.
Yep.
Can't do it. The Texans can't block at all. Drake May's been sacked more than anyone in football not named Cam Ward. Been sacked 34 times. And the Vikings also just can't block anyone.
Right.
So, by the way, this is a complete aside because I'm not a professional at this, and I probably need to be evaluated. I was sitting there doing like quarterback rankings earlier this week.
Yeah.
For SI, which a lot of people were furious with me because I had Mahomes and Allen.
Mahomes won. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Fuck him. It's correct. I don't care that Mahomes had a bad. I had like multiple bills that big. What about last weekend? So it's like, what about the last decade? What about that? Like, and also like, I don't know the other 8 games of the year when every Bills fan on earth was like, I don't know what the hell's wrong with Allen. Like, yeah. And all of a sudden it's like the guy's one good game, and meanwhile Mahomes has been God for the first 8 weeks of the year. We were talking about this the other day, like Allen against the blitz, not against the blitz, Mahomes. So I was looking at like different players and like different numbers and everything else. And Justin Herbert has one of the wildest splits I've ever seen in my life. So obviously every quarterback on earth is better when they don't have pressure.
Right. Yeah.
That's the reason, right? Like,
yeah.
Doesn't take a changes. Herbert this year, when he's not under pressure, is really good. Like he's completing literally like 80% of his passes. His EPA is plus 77.4. Like, terrific. Great, terrific job. When he is under pressure, he is completing 48% of his passes for a negative 51.5 EPA.
Unreal.
I got to tell you, doesn't bode well without Alton Slater.
Yeah.
Not good. So gratuitous. That's why they suck, because I forgot about them. They can't block anybody.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Good one.
I knew I was forgetting somebody. I just wanted to slide that in there. They can't block either. And while I think Pittsburgh legitimately stinks, I am picking them to beat the Chargers on Sunday because they might hit Herbert 35 times.
It's a good point. Herbert's
been like, I think pressured. I think it was the number. He's been pressured like 25 times more than anyone else in the league. And they had alts for most of those games. So good luck to them. But you go ahead, throw out the break. I know we got people that we got to get through here.
Man, you're right. All right, Chiefs.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
Calling all Chiefs fans, you could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pre-game coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Heather Luce, broker owner, KC Local Homes, and Emprise Bank has been a great partner for us. They're our partner in Possible. Debbie and I hit it off immediately, and she was one of the first bankers that I would say sat down with me and actually like genuinely cared about my story and where I was coming from and what I was trying to do, not just what kind of loan do you need, how much equity do you have, and she really kind of laid out my options for me and just made the process make sense, and I felt comfortable with it. Start to talk about it and think about it, a building popped up that I wanted, that I could afford, and it was in a great area. And so they really guided me through the SBA. I used the SBA loan to acquire it and really guided me through that process and made it happen. I think that we talk about that a lot, where we wouldn't have a business. We wouldn't have what we have here if we didn't have the clientele that we do. I've always functioned out of a people over profits mentality. The houses sell themselves, right? Like, I'm here to help people and facilitate the transaction for them.
Chiefs Kingdom, what is your favorite touchdown? By now, you guys already know that my favorite touchdown is the next one, because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From first touchdown score to anytime touchdown props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. You want spreads? They got it. Over-unders? DraftKings got you covered. Same-game parlays, regular parlays? DraftKings has it, and you need it. And here's the best part. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN for new customers to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. All right, let's keep talking about why teams suck. I want to talk about why the Bills suck. It's hard to talk about this right after they just kind of mollywop the Chiefs.
No, there's it's not that hard.
Their defense actually genuinely sucks. Cole Bishop played like Ed Reed, and they had guys play out of their mind against the Chiefs because apparently the Chiefs just didn't do anything different in this game. And they're like, oh, yeah, we saw all this on film. Yeah. And they're like, oh, yeah, Xavier Worthy has tells. It's like, okay, that's not great.
Why did you say that, by the way?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Like, I read that and was like, that's like, if I was McDermott, I would be irate. Like, what are you? Another locker room speech is coming. Like, what?
Don't tell him about Tiananmen Square, man.
Hopefully, yeah, well, that actually might be better. But I'll tell you, we're not going to do, no. Look, like, yeah, the Bills' defense is ass, and then also, like, their receivers are terrible, and the coach in a playoff game is just a Chernobyl-level disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Like, McDermott's one of those guys that I feel like is not a bad coach, but gets in those, like high leverage moments and just, all right, have you ever seen the movie Tommy Boy?
Yeah, oh yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, I figured you're the kind of guy who would, right? It's a great movie. It's funny as hell. There's a part in the movie where Chris Farley is explaining to this waitress about how he can't make a sale. And he's like, if you've not seen the movie, it's going to sound really bizarre, but he has like a dinner roll.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, he's like petting it like it's a pet, and he's like, this is the sale, and he just,
right.
And then he just grabs this dinner roll and rips it in like a million pieces and makes this like just tearing, ripping sound. He's like, I killed it. I killed my pretty little pet. Why? And it goes through this whole thing. That's McDermott in any playoff game he's ever in against a good team. Like, everything's fine. Just don't kill your pet. And then it just instantaneously is like, I'm running a fake punt from the 20. And it's just chaos breaks out. You're like, yeah. All you had to do was coach like a normal football team. Like, just squib kick it. So also John Harbaugh, that's the reason the Ravens suck.
Ooh, coaching.
Yeah. Just a disaster class at the worst possible moment. Like, hey, we ran for 4,000 yards this year. We're running for 6 attempts in this game. Okay, great. Thanks. Awesome. You're going on.
Yeah, the Bills as a team, I can't wait to watch them play the Jets again, and they've probably already played them twice. I don't even know the way their schedule is.
No, they play them again the last week of the year, I believe. That'll be a real awesome one.
Yeah, I can't wait for them to play the Dolphins again and watch them just step on themselves the whole way through there after they look like an absolute juggernaut against the Chiefs. That'll be really fun. It's kind of been like the feeling of like when we keep watching Jaguars games, right? And you see the Jaguars go and play other teams and they just look well, like the Jaguars, and they just keep getting absolutely decimated, and you're like, how did the Chiefs lose to this team? And I feel like
Found the way. Just dug really deep.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want a hilarious note,
I would love.
Bo Nix after this just calamity of a football game. Quote, "I've been booed before. I'll be booed again."
He's booed at home. I must have missed that part. My volume was turned down.
Oh, dude, they were booing them unmercifully the entire game.
Good. Well, their offense sucks ass.
I've been booed before. I'll be booed again. All right. Well, yes, you will.
You will be.
You will definitely be booed again. Yes, based on the way that this season's gone. Even though they're 8-2, yes. I mean, that, by the way, is a real good barometer. Like that, the fans know that they're frauds.
100%. Yeah.
Right. Like Arrowhead, as much as the Chiefs were unbelievably frustrating last year, they were not booing the Chiefs at home. I can't. Maybe they did it once. I can't remember. Like, you're not booing a team you genuinely believe is really good that's having a bad night. You're booing a team that you know, like, oh God, it's coming.
Yeah.
You know,
the slow, inevitable pain.
Yes,
death.
The death that's coming. We just haven't gotten to it yet.
Right. You see it creeping over the mountains.
So the only teams that we have in the AFC that we haven't said why they suck yet
is Indy.
That's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Daniel Jones.
It's kind of a fraud watch situation, right? Like,
yeah,
man had 5 turnovers last week.
It was starting to get dark. I'll tell you that. Watching that game, you started to see it get dark a little bit for the Colts.
Wanted all year to see when Jonathan Taylor doesn't rush for $180 against the Titans, what happens?
Yeah.
Well, as it turns out, what happens is Daniel Jones taking a 5-step drop, screaming, and then just throwing the ball into the hands of a defender. Like that. That's what happens. Could that be a one-off?
Maybe.
Probably not. Like, maybe, but history says probably not. The Colts, you just kind of feel like at some point here, maybe not like all the way reverting back, but like reverting back to like a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Which they better hope he doesn't, because they just traded 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. So,
I mean, we got to talk about. Well, I guess this is the time to talk about the deal because we're talking about the Colts.
Yeah.
That's a lot to give up. Plus AD Mitchell for a guy. Well, AD Mitchell, yeah, was a.
Let me tell you something right now. I can tell you this with certainty. The Colts were like, "You're taking AD Mitchell."
He was kind of needing a change of scenery, let's call it.
Yeah. I don't think the Jets asked for AD Mitchell. Let's put it that way. Okay, I think the Colts are like, "We'll give you 2 first and also AD Mitchell."
Yeah, he was kind of like an active terrorist against his own team. I mean,
there were like active conversations around like training camp, like people watching the camp. Like, is he scared to get hit? What's going on here? Yeah, I don't think they were exactly. I don't think that was a big point of contention. Let's put it that way.
Fair. But Sauce Gardner does get extended this past offseason. He got extended, and the Jets say, I don't think we want that anymore, and get him off the books for 2 first. A pretty identical, actually, the exact same trade that Micah Parsons got, 2 first-round picks and a player. Now you can argue if Kenny Clark is better than AD Mitchell. AD Mitchell's younger than Kenny Clark is. That plays into it a little bit, probably. AD Mitchell was a 2nd-round pick. But 2 first-round picks. The Jets are hoarding picks, which good for them. They need to do that.
Yeah, the Jets with the
suck.
rare November win.
Very true. Very true.
A dominant showing in November by the Jets.
I'm very curious what the Jets' record is in November for the last 15 years.
Well, I got to
after the Saints,
get them on next Thursday Night Football. They're going to Foxborough next Thursday, so buckle up, buddy. That's right.
Sounds like I'll be going live for that one on my Twitter as well for the 4th quarter of that one.
Sounds like I may head for the highway.
You and I have 2 different reactions to watching bad football.
Where's Verderame? Well, he's not making the show. He's in a medically induced coma.
Yeah, no,
he died to catch the front of a short line bus.
I'm looking. So that okay. Let's talk about the Sauce Gardner trade a little bit. So I talked about this on the stream where I was live for 3.5 hours because I was live at noon all the way till the end of the trade deadline because I thought the Chiefs were maybe going to do something and the chat bullied me into it. But no, it wasn't. It was just us hanging out and talking and chatting. But anyway, what I said on the stream, and I still feel this way. Like, I understand why both sides did it, right? Like, to me, I think the Jets won that trade, but I understand why the Colts felt like they had to make that trade. They don't have any corners. Like, Kenny Moore came back last game for the first time this season, or first or second time this season, and he played really good, I thought, against the Steelers, but they also put him against Darnell Washington way too many times. You can't put that guy on a 300-pound, 17-footer.
That's asking a lot of him.
That is. And they needed help at the cornerback position. Cornerback position is some spot that they have had trouble at. They were kind of relying on Juju Brents. That kind of didn't pan out for him. Charvarius Ward, he gets put on the IR because he got hurt during warm-ups.
Yeah,
so
really a bad break.
That was his second concussion this year, too. So it takes a little bit longer. He goes on IR, so I understand why they had to do that. Their pass rush has not been good this year either. Latu Atu, however you say his name, has like 2 sacks. I think at one point he had more interceptions than sacks on the season. I think last game he tied his interception and sacks. So that's not really what you want from a first round defensive end. So they needed help on the defensive side of the ball. They went out and make a trade for Sauce Gardner, and they got to pay him a lot of money. And that's the part that I get hung up on is the contract for Sauce Gardner. I understand that Sauce Gardner is like a good football player. I think Trent McDuffie's better. Like I think Trent McDuffie is a better football player than Sauce Gardner is. Maybe he fits that defense. Maybe he fits Lou Anarumo's system a little bit better. Curious to your thoughts on it, but I think that I understand why both sides did it. To me, I think the Jets win that trade just because of the assets that they got back, and they got a lot of money off their books too.
Yeah, no. Listen, I think the Jets won that trade. Like, I understand that the Colts are having a year they did not expect to have. Let's just be real.
100%. Oh, God, no.
And they're like, hey, man, the AFC is kind of wide open because the Chiefs alternate between being the best team we've ever seen and maybe not a playoff team. We all just saw Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Drake May's on pace to get sacked 68 times this season.
Right.
So like I get it. And they also looked at their division and were like, oh my God, please. So I get it. The problem with it is that is not a bet on anything other than Daniel Jones long term. Because if you're giving up 2 first-round picks, you're saying, like, we believe in this quarterback. This guy's our guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a massive bet for being 9 weeks in and playing nobody all year long. Like, I get it, man, but whoa, that's a lot. That is a whole lot to gamble on Daniel Jones. I got to be fair. I don't hate it for the Colts from the standpoint of, like, I understand it.
Yeah.
But I don't like it. Like, I am much more on the side of the Jets, that is a sentence you'll never really hear me say. But here we are.
Yeah, it is crazy. This isn't like the Quinn Williams trade, right? Like where you're like, holy shit, what is one side doing? Like you understand it for both sides. And I've always said the Cowboys just one pass rusher away, Matt. I've just said they've just always been just one pass rusher away. If only they had a really elite,
they could
solid
find the guy.
Right. I mean, they just had one away. I've got a group that I want to talk about here in the NFC. I'm lumping Detroit, Tampa Bay, and the Niners together. Detroit, Tampa Bay, and the Niners. Okay. Detroit is kind of a soft one in this, but I think it qualifies for Detroit. They're beat to shit, man. Those teams are beat to shit, and that's why they suck. When you have your starters, your players that you were counting on playing football, not playing football, you're not going to be a good football team. So like those teams are beat to shit.
No, that's fair. They are. They are all beat to shit. I think the Niners like lead the way with that, but the Bucs are crazy beat up, and the Lions, like their defense is just a catastrophe.
It's been that way for a year too.
Yeah,
like
again.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's fair because all those teams have talent, but hard to win when a lot of that talent's on IR.
Hard to win when you're not playing football games. They're just the Bucs. It seems like every game it's just like, oh yeah, they win, but they also lost their 2 best wide receivers. Oh yeah, but they also lost their best remaining offensive lineman, and they also lost their lineman. So it's like it just seems like that's always what happens when the Bucs play football, and it's a big bummer.
Yes.
Because I think that team was going to be really good. I still think they are good, but yeah.
I think the Buccaneers are actually legitimately good.
Right.
They're just they're. I mean, at some point here, like it catches up to you.
Yep. So Matt, this leaves Philly, the Giants, the Bears, the Falcons, the Seahawks, and the Rams left.
Okay, well, the Giants, it's easy. I mean, Daboll is actively holding the franchise hostage about 3/4 of the games.
Yeah.
Him and Shane, you put them together. So the Giants, it's easy. It's the front office and the coaching staff are actively conspiring to win 3 games this year.
Right.
The Rams are an interesting one because the Rams actually are pretty good. Oh, actually, no. The Rams are really easy because they don't know how to kick the ball.
Yeah.
Like
they don't.
They would be undefeated if they could kick a football. But
teams. They don't know special teams.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Absolutely brutal. So there's the Eagles just a tush push, just flat out. I mean, just the fact we continue to inflict this on everybody.
Nick Sirianni, should we say more?
That right. I mean, just Sirianni, I think takes pride in the fact he has what I would call a punchable face.
Oh my gosh!
And the tush push is the most punchable face play that has ever happened.
So, great comp.
Just and the city of Philadelphia and angry people, but as a Northeasterner myself, I can appreciate it. But I mean, Philadelphia, those 2 things just right there. Just that's all you need to say.
The Bears, I don't know. I think Caleb Williams is not good, but that might be a hot take.
No, I think
Ben Johnson's too. I think his offense and system is too cute.
Defensively, they're an absolute sieve too. So I mean,
we could have lumped them in with Cincinnati and Houston, probably.
Yeah, they are a disaster defensively. So they currently sit at
not Houston, but yeah,
26th defensively in yardage allowed and in points allowed. They're sitting at a robust 29th. So they are a disaster on defense.
What I was going to say for the Giants was they don't have good football players. That was going to be one of them too. And that was going to go for Atlanta for me as well, as they don't really have good football players.
Yeah, well, the problem with Atlanta is they're literally not good.
Right, that's why they suck. Why do they suck? Because they suck.
They literally suck. By the way, quick 30 seconds on Atlanta.
Yeah.
When they were in New England last weekend and they needed to tie the game, they scored the touchdown. And London made a great catch. I think the announcer even said, and I forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think he even said they tie the game, and I'm like, no, they haven't yet. And they're the Falcons, and here it comes.
Oh
and
yeah.
I am not a gambler. If somebody had in that moment said, you can put $1,000 to win 1,000 more that this guy's missing this extra. I would go, it's found money.
Yes.
There's no chance this guy's hitting this. Everybody blows it wide. And then after he misses it, you come to find out that he was in the Pats training camp and he lost a job. And you're like, yeah, well, Vrabel was like, yep. And that's why, motherfucker. 7-2. Yeah. Oh, the Falcons are hideous. Who else do we have that we haven't put to bed here?
The last team on the list is the Seattle Seahawks, and they are also the number 1 team in the ass list right now.
I think, even though I will say up front, this is completely unfair.
Oh, okay.
It's completely unfair.
Should be. Yeah, let's do it.
It's because nobody, if they're honest, nobody believes in Sam Darnold in a big spot.
I like that.
And it's unfair because he played great last year and he's playing great this year. But in a big spot, no one believes in him. And you get all these people on Get Up who are going to be like, I'll tell you what I think. Bullshit. If that guy's in a big spot, you all are sitting there in the back of your mind yeah, he's not going to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be real. They've lost twice this year. No, they've lost both those games. him turning the ball over in a massive spot at the end. That's how. So, look, he's had an awesome year, and I am honestly really happy for the guy because he was poisoned by the Jets, and he has recovered, and he's gone on to have a really nice group. It's kind of like the Daniel Jones thing. Yeah, man, having a great year, but kind of secretly, quietly, if I'm a team in that conference, not afraid to play him in a playoff game.
Right.
Rather play him than Stafford or the Eagles, right? That's I think that's where we fall on that bad. At least where I fall on that bad boy.
No, I agree with you. I've never been a Darnold truther. I know that there's a lot of them out there, and they're very proud of it. I don't think you should be that proud of being a Sam Darnold truther. Frankly, might be quite embarrassing. But I do think that that is the hindrance of this team. Now, has JSN played really well and gotten open, and has had Darnold been able to get him the ball? Yeah, 100%. I think they got a good offensive line. Their defense does well enough, right? I think that they are a good football team, but I do think, I 100%, I'm right there with you about Sam Darnold. I don't think that he is making a difference in the playoffs in January in anything. Did they probably win this Geno Smith trade? Yeah, because Geno Smith is ass. He's bad, and they probably got him out of there before he turned real into a pumpkin, because he started to see a little bit last year. Him start to turn back into the pumpkin. But I think that trying to win games with we got teams right now trying to win games with Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones, Matt. Imagine telling you that in 2021, that these two guys would be trying to win football games in the year of our Lord 2025 for teams that are at the top of their division or conferences.
Yeah. And a team that's not, as I know we're getting close to the end here, is the Cardinals, who benched Kyler Murray. Look, so all you need to know about the way the NFL ecosystem works, okay, and the media's role in it, and I am obviously in that ecosystem covering the whole league, and I got to tell you, even I sometimes just kind of laugh. It initially came out that Kyler Murray had a foot injury, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got a foot injury. He's day to day. Oh, Jacoby Brissett's got to start this game. Okay. Brissett starts the game. He plays well. They lose. All right, listen, they're gonna give Jacoby one more game here because Kyler's still beat up.
Let him get healthy, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Plays another game. Plays well. They lose again. Maybe Kyler's gonna play this week. Not quite ready. Okay, fine, whatever.
There's a bye week thrown in there too, right?
Yes, I believe I was going to say. I think there was.
Mm-hmm.
Then they play Monday night against Dallas, and Jacoby Brissett lights up a defense that is actively not trying to win games.
They're so bad. They are.
Okay. By the way, I'm not kidding. Did she still score 45 points against that team on Thanksgiving? Did she deserve to lose?
Yeah.
That team's a joke, man. They should score 45 points to that team without even trying.
Yep.
So he wins that game. 1 of 3 starts, wins. And Jonathan Gannon comes out and is like, you know what? Starting him, riding with him. That's it. Within 20 minutes of that, there's a deluge of NFL reporters who are like, it was always expected, Kyler was going to be out 4 to 8 weeks with this foot injury. And it's like, no, he wasn't. You're all full of crap, and you're all carrying water for his agent.
Yep.
Because if they thought he was going to be out 4 to 8 weeks, bro, he'd have gone on IR. But he didn't go on IR, did he? No, he didn't. He's not on IR because it's not a 4 to 8 week injury. Right. It's I'm not any good injury, and that's what's lingering. Not the foot, him. And I'm not, by no means am I sitting there saying he wasn't hurt. I'm sure he was hurt, but he was 4 to 8 weeks as an initial timeline. If they thought initially it was a 4 to 8 week injury, they would have put him on injured reserve. They would have just sat there and been like, oh, I don't know, whatever. Okay. Also, I got to tell you, if you're getting benched in 2025 for Jacoby Brissett, your injury's permanent for that team. Okay? Jacoby Brissett is going to turn 33 years old in December.
Mm-hmm.
Here are his last, so since 2020, including 2020, on the Colts, played 11 games.
Yeah.
2021 on the Dolphins. 2022 on the Browns. 2023 on the Commanders. 2024 on the Pats. 2025 on the Cardinals. The Cardinals are actively choosing to bench Kyler Murray, which, by the way, I'm in favor of. That's fine. Kyler Murray.
Well, he stinks, yeah.
He's terrible. Yeah. But okay. They gave Kyler Murray a $230 million contract that runs through 2028. It just started last year, by the way, because it was an extension. It's got 3 years beyond this. They just benched him for a guy who's basically racking up like Delta points because he's on a different team every year for the last 6 years. He's 33. And I love these people who, have the team source because they're like, well, what are you going to do? Jacoby Brissett's just playing that well. He's 1-2. He's 33 years old. What planet do you live on? And Johnny Gannon took one look at Jacoby Brissett and was like, you know what, Kyler, that foot, keep resting, bud. That's the Arizona Cardinals. I look forward to where he's going to be. Tua for Kyler, straight up.
Oh, gosh.
Little cross-country action. Boom.
That's disgusting for both teams.
Awful. It's awful. Here's the question. Who says no? Which is the one that says no?
Has to be the Well,
you would think. But they just benched him for
that's what I'm just saying, yeah.
Would they say no?
What's the money difference? Is it that big of a money difference? Because I know Tua's contract is also just horrible. It's horrible.
It was a little more expensive. I'd have to look. I think it was a little more expensive. But the point is, I think it'd be like that scene in The Office with the finger guns, the
standoff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I thoroughly look forward to the Jets who have 18 first-round picks over the next 3 years. They'll be the ones to trade for him.
Yeah, that's right.
Bring him in. Them are like the Raiders since Geno worked out so well.
Is Tyrod Taylor the Jets' backup this year?
Yes.
And then Brady Cook's our third stringer. Shout out Mizzou Made. He's on the practice squad. Yeah, that's tough for the Jets. I'm actually kind of curious to see what this Jets team looks like. Just the part of just wants me to watch. The part of me that always likes to watch the world burn. It's just what's that team going to look like? How bad is that team going to be? But I don't think Sauce Gardner was really and Quinton Williams were really doing a ton for that defense this season. Nevertheless. Matt, before we get out of here, let's talk a little bit about Week 10. Obviously, we just watched Thursday Night Football. That game is in the books.
Thank God.
Somehow we found a way to make it through that game. Matchups, not a great noon slate. It's not a great noon slate. I was doing the ball maps from 506 Sports, talking about the broadcast area. Not a great matchup. There's a Sunday morning game in Berlin. It's Atlanta at Indianapolis. That'll be on NFL Network. I don't think I will be getting up for that one, but
you don't want to watch Michael Penix go halfway across the world to just rifle a ball to, I don't know, Drake London on 3rd and 10 for a gain of 6. No, I'm not down for that.
No, that one doesn't really. That doesn't really get me going. Unfortunately. Yeah. New England at Tampa Bay is a good one. That's the one in the Kansas City area you'll be seeing on CBS. CBS has a single window this week, but then you also have Jacksonville at Houston, Buffalo at Miami, Cleveland at New York for the noon slate. Oh, my gosh. The Jets play the Browns this week?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I hope you're excited about it because it's going to happen.
I actually kind of am excited about it, because that game's going to be so bad. The Giants play the Bears, and the Ravens play the Vikings. The Saints play the Panthers. That's your noon slate. Any of those games tickle your fancy?
No.
Yeah.
No, Bucks-Pats is probably the best game of the weekend.
Oh, yeah. What's the Sunday night game? Sunday night is Pittsburgh at LA. Gross.
That game's going to be funny if for no other reason, because we're going to get Collinsworth for 3 hours talking about how TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith are just having a party in the backfield. He's going to be, Mike, I got to tell you, tough to play quarterback when you've been hit 37 times on 19 dropbacks.
37-8.
I mean, bro, they are going. I'll say this for the Steelers. That defense blows.
Yeah.
They can rush the passer, and they are just going to tee off, dude. That game, I really wonder genuinely if you're the Chargers in that game. Like, do you go into it with the mentality if we were running the ball like 50 times? I don't know how I don't know how they throw. Like in that football game. I have no idea how they do it, even though the Steelers are horrendous defensively. By the way, last thing I got for you, saw this stat. Shout out to Bill Smith, who is director of Next Gen Stats for the NFL.
Whoa.
That's right.
Bigwig.
Tweeted this out. Broncos and Raiders each had more penalties than first downs tonight. Only the second time since 1950 that this happened, and it's fitting the first was a battle of 0-5 expansion teams in 1976.
What do you got on those teams? You got anything off the dome for those two expansion teams?
Plenty off the dome of those two teams. So Seattle and Tampa Bay. Fun fact.
Yeah. Okay. Lay on me.
Seattle, everybody always thinks like, oh, they were first in the AFC West, and then they went to the NFC West.
Right.
The first year in the NFL, they were in the NFC West.
Huh.
And the Buccaneers were in the AFC West with the Chiefs. And then they flipped the following year.
Probably a good call.
So, yeah, good call. But the Buccaneers, that team famed 0-14. First team to go winless in the modern era. And they were 0-12 the following year. Lost their first 26 games.
Wow.
And their first win was against Hank Stram when he was coaching the Saints. And Hank Stram got fired for it.
Yeah, he probably should, you know?
Yeah, he frankly should have, yeah.
Probably.
Man, went right to the broadcast booth after that. Yeah, so that Buccaneers team, that Buccaneers Seattle game, not exactly one for the books. You know, although it was the Seahawks' first ever win. And and the Broncos and the Raiders both looked like expansion teams in that game. So
I think it's fitting, actually.
Very fitting.
Yeah. Very fitting for those two franchises to be called expansion teams because they played very poorly. Very poorly. All right. Well, that is that kind of puts a bow on the bye week, I guess, for Chiefs stuff, because next week we'll be talking about obviously everything that happened in week 10 and then start to look ahead to Chiefs Broncos a little bit. Both teams kind of getting an extended rest. Obviously, the Chiefs coming off a bye week, so they do have technically the rest advantage. But the Broncos have this little mini bye here going into their matchup with the Broncos. It's going to be a big game. We'll talk about it plenty more next week and everything that happens all around the National Football League. We appreciate everybody for hanging out, hitting the like button, hit the subscribe button. Here's the part of the show where I get on my phone and go to Apple Podcast and see if there's been any 5-star ratings and reviews for me to read on this here program. If there's none, I'm going to be kind of disappointed in you guys, truthfully.
Furious. If you can't bother, then you know, what the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, we're sitting here, okay, I had to watch that fucking game. And I know people out there are like, yeah, Verderame, you get paid to watch it. There's no amount of money. I lost 3 hours of my life. I could have spent that time hanging out with my wife and kids.
True.
And I'm down here slugging it out in my windowless basement office, praying for rapture as that game was unfolding. Like that game, I now have to go to extra therapy for that. Okay, we're gonna get done with this, and I got to call my therapist. Being, look, double book me next week because all the regular shit, push it to the side. All that crap that happened when I was a kid, push it right to the side. Yeah. It's chopped liver compared to Bo Nix and the Raiders on Thursday Night Football.
Shout out to everybody who watched that game in the fourth quarter with me live, because we kept calling him Bo Picks, and then he threw a pick, and it was kind of funny. It was kind of awesome. I was like, Bo Picks, Bo Picks. We do have one 4 days ago. Shout out in the chat for this one. It's a quote, run and to walk. Huh? Chris Suitfin. A quote, run to and watch show for all Chiefs fans. I've been a Chiefs fan for over 30 years and am disappointed in myself for only discovering this network a year or so ago. That football show and everything else are two of the best Chiefs and all football shows around for their intelligent takes, analysis of strengths and weaknesses, and a breath of fresh air for outside of most Chiefs echo chambers. That's talk about us. While also being highly entertaining outside of football. Tucker, Joshua, and Verderame are three dudes I'm excited to listen to multiple times a week. Keep up the great work, KCSN. Thank you, Chris, for that very kind 5-star rating and review.
Also, shout out for not throwing in Seth and Nate in there.
Yeah, it's only me, you, and Josh.
Got to send that to him in a group text. Hey, just want you guys to know. Yeah,
Chris hates you guys.
This is because he's kind of against you guys personally. It's not so much your analysis; it's who you are as people.
Right.
No, thank you for the 5-star review, and it'd be nice if the rest of you were more like Chris.
Yeah, be like Chris, dude. Go be Chris and like this video if you're on YouTube. Like it, subscribe to it. Oh, okay. We're doing a gift card giveaway. If you stay to the very end of this podcast on the YouTube, if you comment, I'm writing down right now. I did this on the stream, Matt. I don't know if you saw me do this. I did this on the stream where I wrote down a random Chiefs player. And the first person to guess it, the first person to leave a comment of a random Chiefs player that I'm going to write down, the first person that comments it will get the gift card. We'll reach out to you. Make sure that you email us, and we'll send you a $50 gift card to Tacos for Life in Kansas City. Do that. Leave a comment. Appreciate everybody watching all the way to the end of the podcast. From Verderame, I'm Tucker Franklin. I'm going to write this down. Matt and I will come up with it together. We will take a picture of it, timestamp it, and everything, so you guys know we're not cheating here. We're going to come up with an obscure Chiefs player. You guys get no hints. You get no hints. You just got to guess. And the first one I see on the comment section will win the gift card. Perfect way to end the show, going off into the bye week. We'll be back on Monday after week 10, action, recapping that and looking ahead to a little look ahead to Chiefs Broncos. So again, that's Matt. I'm Tucker. We'll see you on Monday.